you ever felt frustrated, overwhelmed, or stuck wasting time in admin instead of growing, leveraging, and scaling your business? Then this podcast is for you. Welcome to Delegate to Elevate, the podcast that's all about handing off what you don't need to do so you can focus on what you do best. So here's your host.
Hello. I am Bonnie Schutz, your host of Delegate to Elevate. Get done. I have a guest today with me that I met through some mutual friends and colleagues at a networking event. And we immediately connected and I said, you have to be on my podcast. Would you like to? And she accepted. So hello, Heather. Thank you for joining me today.
Hello, Bonnie.
Hello.
It's good to be here.
Great to have you. Well, I would like to let everybody know who you are and what you do in a couple sentences here, and we'll expand upon it as we chat a bit further. This is Heather Aaron. She helps manage Facebook and Instagram ads for established online experts and boutique e-commerce brands who want to accelerate their business growth. She believes sales happen faster when people first know and trust your brand. So she is passionate about building meta ad strategies and focus on visibility and connection before asking for the sale. Boom.
Boom.
Short and sweet. I love it. That is awesome. So Heather, do you think you could expand upon that a little bit more and tell us more about maybe your company name or kind of your goals or who your ideal clients are and what you can do for them?
Yeah, so I kind of have been working with a lot of different clients over the years. I've been doing this for the past 4 years. Most of the people I've worked with have been those online experts who have courses, coaching programs, or, that whole world of products from like free things all the way up to, many thousands of dollars, for their courses and programs. Recently, I started working with some e-commerce brands and I find that I like that as well. So I like to kind of keep things a little bit, different. Every business is different and unique. So even when I'm just working with the online businesses, who have those courses and things, I find that each and every business requires different things from me. And I have to tailor that to them.
Absolutely. So you're a solopreneur, correct?
I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then when you started, where did you come from before you started this business? What's your origin career story?
Yeah. So, I just never really knew exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't even, when I was graduating from high school, I didn't even know, am I going to college? It was so crazy.
Yeah.
So, I started by going to just, a local community college, which I think was a great option, earned that degree, transferred my credits, went to a 4-year school and completed that. And then, I was going into media and I graduated at 1999, so I'm a little bit older.
Don't date yourself, girl. That's okay. I'm way older.
So yeah, and that was after stretching out college for a number of years.
The 5-year plan or whatever it is, 6-year plan.
Yeah, a little bit longer than that. But
okay, that's okay. I have the 0-year plan, so hey.
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't know what I wanted to do after that. I started going into some radio. So I worked for a radio station for a little while. And then I, lost that job because they changed things around the way radio stations do. And I still really liked what I was doing, but I didn't want to go into the city because I live in New Jersey and it would have been a very long commute.
Yeah.
So I started working temp jobs and got a corporate job that was just not what I was looking to do, yet I stayed there. There was always something keeping me there. And after 15 and a half years,
wow.
After 15 and a half
they got
years,
their hooks in you.
They did. They downsized me. And I was like, this is such a blessing because I didn't want to do this anymore. And I didn't think that I would move on my own.
Isn't that crazy how that happens?
Yeah, it is. Like you kind of just get comfortable.
Yeah.
And there's always something keeping you there. I was working from home.
Mm-hmm.
So this was before people were working from home normally.
You got one of those coveted work from home roles that I was never able to get.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was unusual. And I knew, well,
Nice.
I just want to work from home. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to find my way. And it took a little while, but I eventually became a virtual assistant
Okay.
in 2019. And
Love
then,
it.
yeah,
Right up my alley.
I realized though that I did not like the task switching
Yeah.
and all the different things that VAs had to do.
Yep.
And then the pandemic hit. And I was like, well, now I'm not doing anything. So I think I'll try to hone my skills a little bit. So that was when I found Facebook ads. I had already been thinking
Ooh,
about it, and I found a course. I invested in the course, and it taught me everything that I know about running ads.
love that.
And yeah, it took me a little while to get comfortable.
Yeah.
And then I started working with clients in 2021, early
Okay.
2021.
I love that. So you delegated your brain. You like got rid of all your old thoughts about what your 15-year corporate career was all about. You got into business for yourself, for freedom, and to be able to do what you wanted and you like to do. That is perfect. I love that. So I love that you were a VA too. So you've been delegated too.
Mm-hmm.
So you understand the receiving of tasks and to-dos. What about you yourself as a solopreneur? I know often solopreneurs don't bring on teams because they like just working alone, but you still can't do it all. What was maybe like the first thing you outsourced or a project or something that you might have outsourced or delegated to somebody else?
Yeah, I'm one of those people who likes to just do it myself, and I don't want to give control to anybody else. So
Yeah.
delegating, I just was like, I don't know if I'll ever get a VA for myself.
Okay.
But I had started using software called High Level, and I don't
Yeah.
know if you've heard
I
of
have
that.
heard of that.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so it's very intense and it's not easy to understand. There's a huge learning curve, and I was having so much trouble getting things set up in that software. I had it for about 2 years when I finally said, all right, well, these other softwares and things that I'm using are coming, like their yearly cost was coming.
Yeah.
And it was increasing. And I was like, well, I'm not going to pay for all these things when I can do it in this software. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to dive in. And when I did, I said, oh my God, I can't understand this. So that
Yeah.
was the first thing that I hired out. It
Yay.
was just a project, quick thing. It was like I went to somebody who was an expert in High Level, and she helped me get through a few issues that I was having.
Yeah.
And that was perfect. It was just
That's
what I needed.
fantastic. That's your self-realization. Like, I know I can figure this out, but in order to get to my end goal a little faster, I'm going to have to invest a little money, a little more of my time into somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. And I applaud you for that. So even if it was one and done, you delegated. You said, I could probably figure this out, but that's going to take me longer. But this person knows how. She can teach me. Then I'll be done. And now what did that lead you to? So you're like this expert and go high level.
I don't know if I'll ever be an expert.
I can't imagine. I don't even think I know any experts in it. I've heard it's challenging, but it's good. Like if you went, it's like one of those big things I remember from corporate, like Salesforce. Like it can do a bajillion things, but you use like 5 of the things.
Yes, exactly.
So what we would call you on my podcast is a delegation virgin on the spectrum of delegation. But I love to hear the stories of everybody at every part of that spectrum, because it just helps me and helps the audience to know that they are not alone. There are solopreneurs that choose and want to run their businesses on their own. But as you just said, there are a couple things that strategically you think I've got to get somebody else to do, even if it's a one-off. So that's a one-off thing, and that is okay. So do you see a lot of people, we're going to talk more about your business a little bit. So do you see a lot of people investing in your types of services and building those Facebook or Meta ad strategies with you and kind of, are willing to do so?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting because I almost feel like people think ads are the thing you think about last. They're never the thing that people think about first. well, maybe sometimes, but
Sure.
a lot of times they're also thinking about ads when their business is failing and they're like, ads are going to save me. And that's not the type of person that I
Guilty.
can work with or should work with, right? Yeah. So, but yes, it's something that people come to me for when they want to finally accelerate what's working. I mean, that's the ideal
Okay.
situation.
I like
So
that.
getting things working
I write that
organically.
down. Accelerate what's working. I like that.
Yeah, that's when it works the best. When you already have a working offer or an offer that's selling, a proven offer, and
Yeah.
then a funnel that's working.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, so everybody listening or whenever you watch this, think about that first. And I talk to people a lot in my business that maybe you're not ready for a VA now that we've talked about them because you don't have your operation. You don't have your go high level working yet. So think about what's working and then think about what you can add on to make it work even better. And so I love that. That's perfect. So as you're going along, what are your goals? Are you thinking that that maybe you don't know what the heck you're going to be when you grow up, or you're going to stay this solopreneur and dabble in onesie twosie offshoots to other people, or do you want to build a team? What are your goals?
Yeah, I know right now that I don't want to build out an agency. If
Mm-hmm.
anything, I've just started thinking about, well, maybe I'll be ready for a VA, maybe by the end of the year or something. I
Nice.
just want to, I'm finally reaching a stage in my business where, I'm getting really great clients. They have the money to spend. They're going to probably be with me for a while, and that's going to stay consistent. So I want to make sure
Good.
that if I bring on a VA, number one, I have my systems in place. Number two, I've got SOPs for them because I
Yes.
know what it's like being a VA and just
I love
being
that.
thrown all this stuff. And, the client is saying, well, fix me. And you can't.
Not so easy to do.
Yeah. Plus, I want to be able to pay them, a good wage.
Yeah.
And I
Thank
want
you.
to,
Thank you on behalf of my team and me. Yes, thank
yeah.
you. That means a
Because
lot, you know.
it's a valuable service.
It is. It
of
is.
being a
And
VA.
I love the way you think about it. And, it may not ever happen. And I'm real. But you may be ready at some point when your stars align. I say a lot. And me coming out of corporate, and going into business for myself, is very much the same as you being a VA and then going into business for yourself because you've been delegated too. And now because of that, your brain grew and now you know how to run a business on your own, which is what I didn't realize I knew how to do either back in the day. So I just encourage anybody listening to get a little bit of that aha moment. Like, I'm not alone if I don't want to build a team, but I can still delegate and outsource one-off little tasks because that might be the best use of my time to have somebody else do this for a little while or dip in for a minute, whatever that minute may equate to. And then that just pumps me up so that I can be a better solopreneur. Would you agree?
I absolutely agree. And actually, before I even go into, hiring a VA, I probably will just outsource things like ad copy writing and, ad creatives whenever that comes up.
Yeah. I call those onesie twosies. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, I think you're in a great direction, a great trajectory for your business, and I love that you're just kind of like, whatever happens, happens. And that's a great place to be. Do you feel like as a solopreneur and the cadence that you have and the mindset that you have enables you to do what you want to do and like have the freedom to live in the present with your family and, with yourself, being able to do what you need to do?
Yeah, I mean, and that was the whole point of doing this was freedom. So I'm not looking we all want to make money, right?
Right. Yeah.
To me, it's the freedom of lifestyle more than the money. I mean, they're both kind of together, but
Right.
I want to be able to, go to a funeral if I have to go to a funeral or, which I had to do last week or the week before.
That happened.
And these
Not having
things
to ask for the day off. Oh,
right. Yeah.
that's
And
awful.
yeah, with just a few tweaks to my calendar, I was good. Like I didn't have to, go to a boss or a bunch of managers and say, "Oh, can I have time off?" And then they, like my
And then
boss
be
one
afraid
time,
and have all
right?
that anxiety to ask for it. Oh,
Exactly.
I don't miss
Or they
that.
say, well, like my boss did one time, "Oh, well, this family member wasn't this close family member." So, like
Yeah.
how do you say that to somebody? Like,
Right.
do you
Yeah.
really
'Cause
need
they're
all
going to
this
say,
time
well,
off?
yeah, she's your aunt's uncle's cousin's brother. Like,
Yeah.
like what? Don't ask. I need the day off. Where I think I'm going to go with this, and what might be some nice takeaways for people is where you and I connect on the fact that having been delegated to in the past has enabled us to create our own businesses and understand what it's like to and the importance of what needs to be delegated or handed off so that we can run our own businesses and live the way we want to and do what we want when we want. A lot of people aren't able to do that, and I get it. But I mean, I think that's a great place to be. And if you're there, I love it for you. And just like for Heather and I, it works great. But I think if anybody, if you had a couple of golden nuggets to drop on people today when it comes to that inner voice or that doubt in their mind when it comes to delegating to somebody like you, even, or you yourself being, so you could talk from both sides, being people delegating to you and you delegating. What are a couple of golden nuggets that you might be able to provide people today when and if they're thinking about either one, starting their own business, or growing their business, or two, knowing when to delegate?
Well, so golden nuggets. I don't know if I can always come up with a golden nugget, but one thing that popped into my head when you were saying that is to rely on your network, because I've been building out my network for the past 4 years, 5 years. And now I'm getting these great clients who are coming to me through referral partners that I met a long time
Love
ago.
that.
And that relationship just builds that trust.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because delegating and giving, like a VA, giving your VA your passwords and access to all these things is so scary. And you want to be able to work with somebody you trust. So that to me means like, getting to know people, building relationships is so important.
Yeah.
And that's been key to my success.
That is a golden nugget, I'll just tell you, because I wouldn't be where I am now without the networking that I've done. And I've talked about it on a past episode as well, but it is so much easier. I use the example of like to find a VA through a company that's, referred me because they've met me and they've gotten to know me, because there are a bajillion, even post-COVID, in the stratosphere of VAs out there, right? Like that's just a sample, folks.
Yeah.
There's a bajillion marketing agencies as well, or whatever it is. But think about that trusted person that that you've met through an affiliation, and they tell you, this is who I use, and they were awesome. That would be so much easier and quicker for me to go to their person than that stratosphere I mentioned. Would you agree?
Totally agree. Yeah. I mean, when it comes time, I am definitely going to go to somebody who I know.
Yep.
You probably.
Same.
Yeah. So,
I just got off the phone with a LinkedIn representative about ads on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's not part of Meta though. So
no,
I don't even know if I'm allowed to be saying their name. So I might have to bleep that out. But that's okay. No, this is great. No, I think that is a golden nugget. So never, worry about being on Bonnie on the spot like me. It's okay to pause and think about, what do I have that has helped me in, and what can I give to help others? And you just did. And that is super golden. And I am so grateful for the networks that I have. That's something I never had to do in corporate. I didn't even know what networking was.
I know. I heard about it when I was in corporate. I'm like, why would I need that?
Why would I need that? But for
now
some reason,
I heavily rely on it.
A few years in, I found that community, and finding people that went through the same day-to-day crap that I did was nice to have. And I basically kind of had that network to begin with, but I was able to take that network when I became an agency owner And I was also in that coveted work from home space when I put it out there that I was a VA on top of being a recruiter, and everybody wanted to work for me. And I was like, me? Really? Are you serious? And that's how I grew my team. I started there. So it's amazing how life and work and careers can pivot and swivel as we age. Our mindsets are different. Our experiences are wider, and, we understand more. So I'm proud of you. I've only known you a short time, but I love your story. Is there anything else you'd like to share today, or else we'll call her a wrap?
You caught me there.
I did, didn't I?
I don't know.
No, it's okay.
No,
I love putting people on the spot. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm
Take
trying
your
to
time.
think if there's anything.
Yeah. What's the name? Do you go by not just, I hate the word just. Do you simply use your name as your business name, or do you have a company name or fun little tagline or anything you commonly use?
I've never been able to come up with a fun tagline. And when I started this,
I know some people that can help you with
that. Yeah. But this is actually something that people probably should think about before they start their business. But when I started, I was a virtual assistant. So my business name is Heather Aaron Virtual Solutions. Woo.
There you go.
But I changed it to Heather Aaron Digital Marketing because I was pivoting into marketing. So that's what it is right now.
I love it. Yeah. When you're ready, not even for a VA, when you need a branding expert. I have a couple of those in my pocket too. But anybody, if you want some more information on Heather and her services, we'll happily provide those down below in the comments. And I want to give you a big thank you for coming on today. And if somebody out there wants some more information and wants me to have Erin back, I am Erin. I mean, Heather. She has a first name as the last name, people. So bear with me.
And we are new friends. That happens.
We are new friends. So I wrote Heather. I said Erin. Anywho, that tells you what happens about 10 years from now for you. Sorry.
You are right.
I laugh at myself. Right. If you can't make fun of yourself, who can you make fun of? But yes, thank you so much. And if you out there want to learn anything about meta ad strategies and things like that and building that muscle, just like you're building this delegation muscle, you could build them both at the same time. So, hey, I will put, like I said, all her information below, and give her a shout out. Check her out on LinkedIn, and we'll put her website there for you. And I hope you'll like and share and comment and tell your friends about the podcast and leave us a review. Tell us how you like this episode, if something just hit home for you. And I want to say another big thanks for Heather for joining us today. Have a wonderful day. Thank Heather.
You so much. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
So that's it for today's episode of Delegate to Elevate. Head on over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen and subscribe to the show. One lucky listener every single week that posts a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes will win a chance in the grand prize drawing to win a $15,000 private VIP day with Bonnie herself. Be sure to head on over to delegatetoelevatepodcast.com. That's with the number 2. And pick up a free copy of Bonnie's gift and join us on the next episode.